Success, Junk Shop says. Are you the first one in? Is that what that's about?
Oh no, I was talking to somebody.
That came out a little strange. I realized just now. Hi. Hi. So I don't recognize my country anymore. Do y'all recognize the United States anymore? Have we? I mean, honestly, especially those of you who aren't from here, have we always been gigantic pricks, or is this newish, where we less awful at any point? I mean, we were worse with slavery than now, but otherwise, I don't know what's happening. It's very disturbing. So, what I'm talking about in particular, and Ilya Moon is going to cover this, I think, on the 11th, and so she'll probably have more information by then. Because right now, these are just allegations; nothing's been proven, but they're horrifying allegations. And if they turn out to be true, ooh, okay. So at one of the concentration, I'm sorry, I mean detention centers. Yeah, detention centers at our at our border. Oh my gosh, hang on. I'm gonna say, you know what? This is hard. This is a difficult one to get through. So I'm just gonna say hi to everyone really quickly and just get myself in a good place where I feel surrounded by friends and not terrified. So hi Dave, hi Junk Shop, hi Never Again, hi Lone Wanderer. Do, 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 do. Hello Aunt Jur, thank you so much for asking everybody to like and share. Godless Sewing. Hey man, how are you doing? Let's see. Brain Bug. Hello. Um, Dr. Osiris. Good to see you. One Ring. Hey man. Hey Ring. Thank you for coming. Edward Syriac. Syriac. Edward, how are you? Mark Caesar. Hello. Uh, okay, so back when I was teaching, I used to pride myself in being able to pronounce any student's name correctly, and I don't know why I have such a hard time with yours, Edward. It upsets me that I do. Okay, so so the thing there was Okay, so back to my original question about not recognizing my country and everything being awful. I mean, there was this whole thing with the Massachusetts theocracy and the other thing with the constant genocide. Yes, yes. In fairness, I'm glad we've stopped most of that. Um, yeah. So, all right. Yeah, and this is something important to put in here. Never again. By procedure, let me know if I'm wrong, but I have a very similar story about people I met in county jail. There was a very high number of poor white women who'd had that procedure, all younger than 30. I also wonder if that's part of something. Yeah, because I can tell you, I knew I didn't want to have kids in college, and no doctor would agree to any kind of sterilization, like any kind of tying my tubes or anything like that, because they were like, you might change your mind, and you're in your early 20s and you're in college, basically sort of like you're white girl with a future, stop it, right? Oh, if only they knew. Anyway, but I did have a friend who was white and poor, and had a baby that she very much wanted, and gave birth to him while on care, which is a thing in Tennessee. It's actually pretty freaking cool. Where before Obamacare was a thing, if you were very poor and couldn't get insurance, health insurance, you could go on care, and it was much cheaper, and you could still, I mean, it wouldn't cover everything, but it was kind of like our state's own little Medicaid situation. Anyway, so she did that, and she gave birth. We were the same age. She gave birth to her first child, and they offered to tie her tubes on the table. And that's when I was like, okay, there's clearly an economic driver here. Yeah, and probably a racial one as well. Um, all right. So, and the reason I just say probably in that instance is, like I said, she's white. So yeah, but it was disturbing and weird. Or without your husband's permission. Good Lord, Andrew, that's creepy. Okay. Mm. Yep. Yep, I have a hat on right now. I have a hat on, and I'll even tell you why. A, it's cute. I can kind of rock this hat, I think. But B, I bleached my hair last night so that I could dye it a different color, and uh, you can't see it yet because it needed to wait before the dye happened. So it's just bleached, messed up brown hair that's been bleached, and you don't want to see that. All right. Okay. So, yeah, so what's happening, and this is according to the links are all in the description below, but this is according to the BBC. Um, yeah, so sorry, this is really difficult to get through, and I didn't think it would be this hard. Okay. In statements released on Monday, oh, I should probably tell you the allegations first. Okay, so the complaint alleges that, quote, jarring accounts from detained immigrants and Ms. Wooten, who is the nurse who was the whistleblower on this, regarding the deliberate lack of medical care, unsafe work practices, and absence of adequate protection against COVID-19. Also, something else that's in the BBC article. This is from the article from the Guardian. This is a quote from Nurse Wooten herself. She said about the doctor who was performing all of these, who was performing a lot of hysterectomies by her and a couple of other nurses' account. And it was all on Spanish speaking ladies from this detention center. Really hard to not say another term there, but I'm trying to not get this video suppressed. Everybody he sees has a hit quote from Nurse Wooten. Okay, everybody he sees has a hysterectomy. Just about everybody, Wooten said. That's his specialty. He's the uterus collector. Everybody's uterus cannot be that bad. That is probably the strangest sentence I've ever said out loud. Everybody's uterus can't be that bad. And apparently, there was one situation where a lady actually had a cyst on one ovary. Now, that doesn't always require surgery. So I don't know. I don't know enough to know why she was in surgery for an ovarian cyst. I have friends, I know a lot of women who've had ovarian cysts and they've never needed surgery for it, but maybe this one was particularly severe or something like that. Oh, forgetting how cameras work again. Okay. But she was supposed to have her left ovary removed. He removed the right one by mistake and apparently made some kind of joke about it, like in the surgical room, like in the theater, the operating theater, and then removed the other one. And the thing is, she's married, and she and her husband both wanted kids, and she can't have them now. So there's that. But yeah, the uterus collector coming to you this fall. That's freaking fantastic. Oh, sorry, I got Doc laughing at you. Hang on. Laughing at the comment. The uterus collector coming to you this fall from Fangoria Red. Yeah, that. Yeah, what the hell? What? I can't even. I'm sorry. I keep stammering. I am shocked. I'm naive, I guess, but I can't believe. Oh, now we see the violence inherent in the system. Yes. No, I know it sounds like a crazy thing to say, but I did have an interview like literally cut like 10 minutes before the guy I was interviewing Robert Reed, and that got cut like 10 minutes off, I think, near the end, or a few minutes off near the end got cut off because we were talking about a particular kind of assault, and we were using the grown-up actual word for that particular kind of assault, and that's a word that can get, your video flagged. Anyway, Robert X, hey, good to see you. Okay, so this uterus collector guy, allegedly, this doctor, ICE is saying, I just hate this. I hate anagrams that spell things and then it comes out so weird and creepy. I mean, Ice sounds like a super villain. Um, so, all right. So the complaint has been filed with the watchdog that oversees the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, which is responsible for ICE. And they're of course saying that they're quote, firmly committed to the safety and welfare of all those in its custody, and that we should take anonymous, unproven allegations made without any fact checkable specifics should be treated. Well, they're not fact checkable by me. I can't go to this detention center. I can't go to this hospital. I don't think I'd be allowed in. Like what? Walk around with my phone recording this guy surgically doing hysterectomies. That's, I mean, how you wouldn't do hysterectomy as a surgery. Never mind. Should be treated with the appropriate skepticism they deserve. Well, yes, I agree. I mean, and that's why I'm trying to be careful with my language here and say allegedly, but a lot of groups are helping this complaint move along. Because it's also alleging safety violations related to the procedures. One woman said she was not properly anesthetized during the procedure, and that was also the lady where he took the wrong ovary and now she can't have children. So that's what the complaint says. It's not. No one's been convicted of anything yet. So there you go. There we have to do the presumption of innocence. But I do want to point out that projectsouth.org, which is it's an institute for the eliminate. Well, their tagline is Institute for the Elimination of Poverty and Genocide. Really cool. They're involved. The ACLU is involved. Yeah, so all the watchdog groups that try to make sure the human rights violations, not all of the groups, but some of them that try to make sure that human rights violations like this don't happen and that investigate when they are alleged to have happened. Hey, Chris, quick hello to you. They're all in this and scrambling up. I cannot talk today. All right. So I'm gonna let you guys are my show now because I can't talk. Okay. Edward Kiriak. Thank you, sweetheart. Kiriak. I just needed to hear it again. Edward Kiriak. It's allegedly happening out of the one of our border camps that has had the longest history of complaints about the medical care or lack thereof. Yes, that is the case, or that's what I've read. In a couple of different sources. If you Google this, you can find several articles about it. And I encourage you to do so because I'm not doing a great job at summing up today. Godless Sewing says, oh, yeah, this is an excellent point. This is what happens when people are dehumanized, truly pathological descent into violence. Yes, I agree. And it does start. It starts with dehumanizing someone. If you can look at somebody else and other them, to the point of I'm better than you, or you are somehow less than me, then that's where this kind of stuff happens, and it's horrible. Because I mean, I imagine, I highly doubt that doctor expected any repercussions, which is incredibly stupid. There are people who speak Spanish. And in fact, one of the articles pointed out that a lot of the nurses were communicating with these women just by Googling and doing using Google Translate and Spanish. And they were communicating fairly well. And these were nurses who didn't speak Spanish themselves. I mean, it's not that hard. I mean, did he think they were just not going to say anything? Maybe he did. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's actually a fair point. Mark Caesar has a fair point. It's not overly uncommon where people are insufficiently anesthetized. You hear of people being aware of what happened during a surgery, which is terrifying. But no, that is a fair point, Mark, because And now I can't find her comment to hide it again. There it is. Okay. The chat is hopping. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad everyone's having a good time. Okay, that's an excellent point. And also, most anesthesiologists are much more concerned with over anesthetizing someone, because that's when you have someone, die on the table from the anesthesia. And that's one of the reasons why um, being a I just had it. I just said the word, an anesthesiologist. The person that administers the anesthesia. That's why they have some of the most expensive malpractice insurance of any doctors in the medical field. Anesthesiology is a notoriously finicky practice. Yes, it is. Ring, you are absolutely correct. It's tricky. Okay, so yeah, this is coffee. Although now I'm wishing I had a glass of wine, because this is not fun. What are we doing? I mean, we're still separating families. We haven't fixed that yet, and is that true? I have no idea, Edward. I'll pull this up, see if anybody knows. But where did you hear that, if you don't mind? Because I have no idea if that's true or not. And it seems strange, because there's going to be population growth at some point. Yeah, that'd be weird. I don't know if that's true. That is bizarre. I don't know why only a fixed number of doctors would be allowed to graduate in any given class or year. Yeah, this is, you guys know, I talk a lot about women's rights and things like that. And this is disturbing to me on a whole other level. Just as the anesthetist, thank you, Mark. So the reason this is so disturbing to me is because forced sterilization is just as evil as as forcing women to carry babies to term, or to have babies they don't want. It's all the same. Like, stop with it. I don't know why. God, this is so. It's so word I don't want to say, but it's a certain word. It reminds me of a certain situation from the 20th century. Okay. Jesus Jones. All right. So, okay, that's fair. Spinal block instead of anesthesia. No, that's a good point. Yeah. My dad doesn't need as much anesthesia. That kind of runs in the family, and he had to. Yeah, he was like, "Yeah, please don't give me too much. I will. It won't go well." All right. Yes. Yeah, David is. This goes back to the earlier point that Godless Sewing made, is that, yeah, it is. Oh, hang on. Sorry, guys. Is that it is easier when you dehumanize someone. We what Nerdy said, stop mutilating human beings. Yes. Can we just stop all mutilations of human beings? I mean, unless it's one that they want. Like, people have referred to tattoos as mutilating your body. I love my tattoos, but it's my body. It's my canvas. I can get art on it if I want to. I can stretch my my ear lobes out if I want to, but nobody should have to. That's the thing. And that goes with anything else. Like, can we? I don't mean to. This is a sensitive topic, but I'll just say it just this once. But it's a sensitive topic. I also don't agree with circumcision. I think it's wrong to do that to someone, especially to do it to a baby who has no choice in the matter. I don't believe in it for boys or for girls for sure, but for both, they should not be acceptable. to do that. Yeah, exactly. Brain bug. Everybody look at brain bug's comment because that's the other word I'm not going to say. But yes, that is exactly what I want to talk about. Is that it seems to be this weird, like, can we get away with this moment that we're having, and everybody's. I don't. Hopefully they can't. God, it's heartbreaking though. Yeah, I don't know, Edward. If we're, I don't think we're no longer a part of the Geneva Convention. I think we'd have to like lose our status um, at the UN for that to happen. But I don't. I'm not sure because see, using chemical weapons is against the Geneva Convention, and that's what I mean. Throwing tear gas at protesters is technically using what
Loophole.
loophole? What is it?
You can't use chemical weapons against enemy combatants.
Oh, that's
Geneva
right.
says nothing about your own citizens.
Yeah. No, you said a great word, brain bug, because it's exactly what is happening. It's yeah, okay, so this is it. You can use chemical weapons against your own citizenry, just not against enemy combatants from somewhere else. Yay. Oh, okay. All right. What else do I have on this? I need to have more topics ready to go because this is such a bummer. I should have something funnier or nicer. Oh, I actually do have something funny. I do have something funny I can tell you. If you're at all familiar with PureFlix and the or God Awful Movies, which is a great podcast and you should check it out. David A.R. White, who founded and directed and acted in a lot of the PureFlix movies, the theme of most of them being divorce is evil and only atheists and Satanists get divorced, is getting a divorce in real life. And normally I try not to do the Schadenfreude thing, but I gotta say, it's kind of funny. It's really funny. Because yeah, people still get hung up on that. My family was very supportive when I got divorced, but that was because they all believed that I had the one biblical reason to get divorced. I was like, I don't. That's not why. But okay, thank you, because I need a place to stay. Oh gosh. Okay. um. Oh, good. We found Joan. Oh yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Dr. Osiris. I should not. Yeah, don't smoke tobacco. It's stupid. It's bad for you. Don't do it. Also, if you're under 18 and you're not watching this with a parent or guardian, you should probably split. Okay, Joan has still been responding to my short questions most nights, but I've not interacted with her directly in a while. Yeah, none of us had, and we've all been worried variously. Just have by variously, I mean we've been worried to certain degrees over the last couple of weeks. But I'm glad she's still responding. Oh yeah, yeah, me too. I do wonder how the pro-life crowd will react to this. Like $5 on fake news, or what about abortion? Yeah, I think you're. Mm-hmm. That's a safe bet, actually. Either one of those. Um, and you know what really scares me is that there'll be a well, they came here illegally, so something something white middle class, just in fill in the blank there. I don't know, it's gonna suck. um okay. Uh, I think I actually get this joke because I read. I can't speak German, but I can read a little bit. So I'm not gonna try and. Can Fred wie Schadenfreude? Okay, nope. I'm not gonna. Sorry, Robert. I feel bad. My grandfather just rolled over in his grave. Okay. Um. Yeah, isn't it? I. How are we? Yeah. Oh, sorry. Not that's not the one I meant to bring up. Yeah. Edward said it's amazing how the year of 2020 will forever be remembered. Yeah, it's like worst one ever, and I don't know. And the U.S. is just we're just constantly showing our ass to the world. It's, I it's we don't learn. Apparently, we don't learn. Um, maybe I hope not, but maybe, yeah. No, I do think that I'm worried. I'm worried that there is an element of that in this nerdy. Yeah, absolutely. Um, because of the population that this is happening to, and I've certainly heard that from black friends over the years that uh, doctors will offer to tie their tubes when they're really young too. Like if they get pregnant as a teenager, they'll offer to tie their tubes, and they're like, you know, a yes or no. But that's a messed up thing because like if you're pale like me, they're not gonna offer to do that, even if you want them to. It's just frustrating. Okay. Yes, I know. I'm so sorry. I can say I didn't vote for the bastard, but my state did. All right. Okay, so we had that, and David R. White is getting divorced, which is funny, and because I mean he made God's Not Dead, and another there's this I forget what the other one. I think he made. You know what? I'm not going to say it because there's a really egregious. There's two really egregious pro-life films that have come out in the last several years, and I can't remember if he had anything to do with them or not off the top of my head, so I'm just not going to say. I'm not going to speculate. Okay. Aw, this is adorable. Okay. Going to Amsterdam for a coffee is the only thing I miss about the lockdown. Aw, very nerdy. Thoughtfully nullifidian. Thank you for showing up. Wow. Yeah, yeah, you do. You do. You read so many stories of women needing their husband's permission to get their tubes tied, or of doctors refusing because they aren't married yet. Yeah, that's it's just what century are we in? Does Junk Shop still own all of my stuff? Are we still like if I leave with just my clothes, can I be charged with theft? Because that was true in the 19th century. Is that still happening? I'm very confused about where and when we are right now. Um, okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into that. Um, all right. So back to yeah. I'm gonna have to start scripting more, especially if I'm doing something this upsetting because apparently I can't talk. Hey, let's talk about about Project South because they're amazing. You can follow them on Twitter at Project South, and some of the I'm looking at their website right now, and they're taking they are joined up with Black Lives Matter and defending Black communities. They have a report here on practicing mutual aid through providing 6 weeks of free testing for South Atlanta and surrounding communities, which is really cool. If you don't know anything about the city of Atlanta, Georgia, it's one of the biggest, most prosperous cities in the South, but that also means it's really expensive to live there in the city proper, and so that means that there's some serious poverty in parts of Atlanta, and South Atlanta being one of those. So, just getting healthcare and COVID-19 tests to those folks is very important. Aw, nerdy, you're such a romantic. The only reason I've ever wanted to get married is for the tax breaks. I don't know, the tax breaks are nice. Um, I do it because I've been married twice. This is the last time, I promise. They, I, no, I like being married. I really do. It's not for everybody. And if you know it's not for you, you shouldn't do it. Don't do it. It's okay. Um, I enjoy it. I like it. And I also like that because, for example, in Tennessee, if I die, junk shop says what happens to me, and I know that he'll donate my body to science like I want. My parents, unfortunately, and I hope I don't die before they do because that would really fuck them up. But if I die before my parents do, and I'm not married, even if he and I, even if they and I are living together, my parents have the last say in what happens to my body, and they would probably bury me. Um, and they'd spend a bunch of money that was pointless, and it had the whole Catholic funeral and all that crap. And I mean, I'm not gonna be there. I'm not gonna care, but it's ugh, just why I don't know. And then the other weird thing about law here in my great state is that if your parents are gone and you're unmarried, then it goes to your eldest, I believe male, but it might just be eldest sibling. And my eldest sibling and I don't talk. We have nothing in common, and I just gave up. Like earlier this year, I just gave up. I was like, I can't deal. He kept calling, he kept putting really nasty things about COVID-19 being a conspiracy, and it was all bullshit, and nobody was really dying. And he just kept saying that stuff and kept saying that stuff as we were getting, more and more cases and more deaths coming out of New York. And I finally just blocked him, and we don't talk anymore. I can't. I can't. Nope. All right. Um, do I have a living will? Shit, no, and I need one. You're right. That's important. Yeah, you are absolutely right. I have picked up the paperwork for a living will several times and just never gotten around to filling it out and having it notarized and given to the proper authority. So, yeah, I need to make out a will too at this point. I mean, all right. Jesus. I'm sorry, never again. That's that is I don't blame you for not talking to them. That's messed up. I am so sorry. Yeah, I do have my eldest sibling's phone number. I mean, I can get in touch with him, and so can uh, my brother and my sister. If God forbid anything, gosh, this language, religious language, really gets in, doesn't it? If anything happens to my parents, we can tell him, and we will. Um, yeah, and I'm not sure where the common law stuff. We do have common law marriages in the South. That is a thing. It depends on, and it's based on how long you live with someone. Yeah, that might. I wouldn't be surprised if that wasn't the case. Um, if that was the case, rather. All right. What do you guys want me to talk about now? Because I am not inspired. I'm sorry. I've been very depressed. Okay. Oh, they were afraid he'd actually go to the funeral and out his nasty habits. Damn. All right, never again. Spilling the family tea in the chat. I love it. Uh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I should get that done. It's not like I have much else going on. Applied for 3 jobs yesterday. All right. Tonight, and I apologize if this has been kind of a boring show, guys, but tonight I have a bonus episode at 5:30. My friend Drew is going to come on, and we're going to talk about social programs and all the stuff your crappy uncle told you about the welfare state and how that's wrong. Because there are a lot of misconceptions out there about unemployment, about who's entitled to it, how long you can get it, the rules under which you can get it. It's all very strict and um, people. When I was a kid, there was a really derogatory term that I'm not even sure I want to use right now, but that there were people who honestly thought like basically people who'd never used a social program, who'd never needed it, they'd never needed a social safety net. So they would talk about it like they knew what they were talking about, but they didn't. And they would complain vitriolically about poor people just living off the state and getting their food stamps and getting public housing and blah blah blah. Like what? You want more homeless people? Is that your what's your, what's your angle here, guys? Like they would complain about their tax dollars going to, you know, uh, and it's just no, it's really not how it works. It's yeah. So we're gonna talk about that. And it does vary by state, yes. Let's see. Yes. Yes. One ring is with me. Yes. That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah. But I didn't want to say it because it's really derogatory. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Myth of that. And it's not at all true. And it's funny to me that the only people I've ever heard complain about that are people with decent jobs. They've always in my experience, they were always white. It's like, okay, sure. It's like, never mind. I'm not gonna spill any more family tea today. I think I've already spilled enough. Um, yeah. Okay, so I gotta go. I gotta get my head screwed on straight for later as well. I'm sorry this was not my usual. All right, Mark Caesar. It stands for welfare queen, and it's really not a nice thing to say here. I don't know if you have a similar. If there's a similar slur for poor people in Australia, you don't have to tell us what it is, but that's what they call it here, or used to anyway. Especially in the '80s, that was a big thing in the '80s and '90s. You heard that term a lot, and it's funny that you heard it so much back then because that was when that was Reagan and Bush, and they were like slashing the social programs to the bone, like really bad. And a recent one in Tennessee that they tried to pass. I need to look this up for tonight. Actually, um, they were talking about forcing adults who were applying for SNAPS benefits, which is the EBT card. It's what food stamps used to be, but now it's like a little credit card. And they were going to make them be drug tested. And I was like, so if somebody tests positive for pot, you're going to not let them get food for their kid? Like you're going to let a kid go hungry because mom smoked a J at a party. Smoked a J? How old am I? Smoked a joint at a party, a month ago? Like, what? No, so, yeah. Yeah, yes, exactly. Yeah, trickle down economics. Absolutely. Definitely works. Yeah, no. That's, oh my God. Ah. Oh, first time for you too, nerdy. Okay. I think it's very much an American thing. And it's a privileged American thing, and it's stupid because it's inaccurate and it's an absolute myth. Oh, okay. Yeah. Mm, yeah. I did know that. I did know it was called the Dole, Mark Caesar, but yeah, I didn't know if there was a. Anyway. Alrighty. I really. Oh, it's really not just American. Oh, bummer. Sorry. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Dave, for letting me know. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It's funny how that works out. Trickle down economics works perfectly if you're at the top. That's true. And there's stuff trickling down, but it isn't money. All right. And on that note, yeah, I need to lay down too, Robert X. Have a good night. I'll see y'all at 5:30. Those of you who want to come back, and we'll do this later. And I think I'm going to see Dave on his Critical Questions show. How many hours away from that are we, Dave? I don't even know. Just DM me. I have no idea what. I can't do time right now. Okay, everybody have a great night. Be safe. And as always, you can't find truth in wine, but you might find it in reason. Hopefully. Maybe. Someday. All right.